Hirevz Media is sponsored by Born to Ride Motorcycle Magazine. Check out borntoride.com. Alright guys, got the Yeti in here and about to start replacing these headers down in here, and it's kind of funny. Some of the header bolts are already gone. You can see that one is just missing. Those are there. The front one here and the rear one are gone, and then the rear one's gone on that side. And I don't think anybody's tried to mess with these. I think they literally just got rusted and hot and cold, and the load on the bolt just like broke off the end of it. So I'm hoping that the other ones go well, and we can try to extract those. Essentially, from what I've heard, you just put some nuts on them, tack weld them to the end, pull that thing out, and it'll come out pretty easy. So hopefully that's true, and this will work. But we're gonna pull those off. Right now, we went in and pulled it in here. It is hot. I just got here, so get the fan going on it here in just a minute, and just went ahead and sprayed everything down with PB Blaster. Then we're gonna see what happens. So we'll give it a little while. All right, guys. So here are the Speed Engineering headers. So these are the Shorty Headers, 453. They're supposed to be direct bolt up to the stock exhaust. This one's got the donut bell kind of thing. This one's got a flat gasket there, which I think is kind of weird that they had two different kinds on the vehicle stock. But it does come with bolts, and we will be using these bolts, I think. I know a lot of people use the stock ones, but since those do not look too well, we're going to use these instead. But the headers look really nice. It seems like they've done a really nice job on these things, getting them all together, and everything looks nice and even in here. Lots of good flows. Pretty excited to see these things on. TIG welds seem really nice. So, and the flange is nice and thick, which is good. So that's awesome. So, pretty sweet. I may or may not use these gaskets. I might use the stock ones that are on there. So we'll see about that. So that's it though. All right, guys. The first thing I'm going through is taking off the spark plug wires, just pulling them out from there, pull them off the spark plug, work that off. There it is. Daddy's getting us up on a lift. I'm gonna raise it up and take the bolts out of the bottom. And we've left it sitting here for a while, hour, so it's cooled down. Everything's cool to the touch in here now, so you definitely don't want to be pulling out spark plug wires or anything on a hot motor. There we go. All right, guys, so I was able to break loose every bolt on here, the ones that are left. Like I said, there's one missing at the end of this one, and there's two at both ends of the other ones that the heads are gone. And I'm guessing it's from heat cycling, but all of these broke loose fine with the wrench and having plenty of PB Blaster on them for an hour. So now I'm using the air ratchet and going to go through and run these off down here, which should be able to get to them pretty easily like that. All right, guys. Amazingly, every single bolt came out perfectly. Like I said, you got that one down there you can see sticking out. We've got one at the end and then one at the end of the other ones, which are the two hardest ones to get to. If we can get those out. So I'm gonna try to do something. And there's not any threads to thread a nut onto, unless we just put an oversized nut and kind of weld to it, or maybe put a pair of channel locks on it. I don't know, we'll try something. But the next thing I do is get the dipstick tube off. We're about to pull that out of there because it's kind of wrapped through the manifold. And then we'll raise it up and get the bolts at the bottom done. All right, guys, so this is aftermarket because these are high flow cats that somebody put on here before I got the truck. So, and then that's factory pipe, and then that's the Y pipe we put in for the cutout. But anyways, these are the flanges, and they seem to be fairly easy to get to. And I just sprayed them down again with PB Blaster, and they are 15mm, as well as the dipstick's 15mm. So we'll try to bust those off now. All right, guys, so all of this is unhooked now. The headers are completely loose. So this one, I believe, has to come down this way. That one has to go up. So we're gonna drop it down and see what we can do. Because we may have to drop this whole Y pipe down. Hopefully we don't have to undo that drive shaft, but we'll see. All right, guys, so this one, see if we can just lift it up out of here. Here's stuff dropping. Might have been that bowl we were looking for. Yeah, that's not too bad. The other one's the one that we're gonna have to worry about. Cool. So we did have to bust apart the Y pipe up here just to get it to move up and bring this side over here down. So once this came down, our O2s are connected, and we may have to disconnect those, but it did drop down a pretty good bit. I've got the header coming right here, and I can kind of maneuver this around. Like I said, I think we're gonna have to get rid of this one O2 sensor here in order to get that pass. No, maybe not. Yeah, might just keep on down. No, ooh, I was about to drop it on my face. That would be one. Now, these bolts sticking down, getting caught on everything. Look at this. Oh man, that was a lot rougher, but made it. Cool. All right, guys, so they are coming loose with vice grips on them, but it's taking forever. So we're gonna hit it with a little bit of weld on a nut that we stuck on there. I got it welded on there. You can see that down in there. It's a little hard to see, but that's it right there. So try to get on here. See if I can make this thing bust it out. I only put a tiny weld in it, so. All right, there we go. Just welded a nut to the end over there, and then backed it right out with the air ratchet there, and should be good. Now he's got that one, and then Daddy's still working on the other one over there. All right, guys, we got out all three. However, this one decided to break back off again in the head, so that one is completely lodged in there and ain't gonna come out. So unless we get it ease out, but the problem is it's in the very back one, and I don't really know how you get in there to do it. So it was running fine with three of these missing, so hopefully it can run fine with one missing. If not, then I guess we'll be unbolting it and trying to do something later, but hopefully it'll be good. All right, guys, that header's in place. Just got a couple bolts holding it in, and I'm gonna end up pulling those back out and putting anti-seize on them. But the rest of the bolts, and throw some anti-seize on here, get them popped in there, and then pull those out and do it. And then try the other side. Got to put it back in from the bottom. All right, there they are. These things look pretty killer on here. Everything's all bolted up, anti-seize back on there, dipstick tube back in. I think pretty much everything's done up here. Snap these back in place, and then do everything on the bottom. All right, guys, everything's bolted up down there. Plug wires are on. Should be good. We're about to fire it up here in just a second. One thing I wanted to mention was what we realized is that down there on the collectors, the nuts actually go up on top, and they're flanged, and they have a knurled flange on them, so they will catch and hold for you, and you can run an impact or something up on the other side, and those will tighten up by themselves as long as you can get them to stop spinning for a second, then they'll catch. So that actually worked out really good. Because we were wondering about that for a minute, and then that worked out good. So let's fire it up. All right, hit it. seem a little more pronounced now when it hits. That's it. Sounds pretty good. Let's rev it up a little bit. Oh yeah, sounds good. Right, guys, don't forget you can get $25 off of ceramic coating, the Armor Shield 9 from Avalon King, by putting Hirevz 25 in at checkout at avalonking.com.